Hey, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. My name is Cedric Harding, and I am the founder of Legacy Smart Group. And here's my you'll get to see this. Then you get to see my logo and what we stand for. You can reach out to me. Like I said, my name is Cedric Harding. You can text me, use our text feature 224-407-4888 or email at legacysmartgroup@gmail.com. So one of the things that I want to talk about at the moment is most agents are really fast for writing a policy, but they also are subject to a chargeback because they don't do a budget with their client. Now, there's something called a dime. What does dime stand for? DIME, debt, income, mortgage, education. Okay. So you should always do a dime and find out what the client needs, right? And we'll do that in another video where I'll show you how to properly do a dime. Now, this video is specific to doing a budget because just because every client most individuals need $1 million worth of coverage, right? And it's not really just $1 million. You got to teach them how to get to $1 million, or they immediately need it. Okay, something that's going to cover them for almost the next 10 years at a minimum. Okay, so looking at that, everyone can and maybe can't afford the policy that was identified, the amount that's needed during that dime. So what we're going to do is talk about the budget to see where they are, so you know exactly what they can afford, so you can eliminate having a chargeback. You can also put that client in a situation to identify what their financial situation is too as well. So what you want to do is talk to them about, okay, let's identify what your take home is. We're not here to take everything. We don't want to take everything. We want you to be in a situation. If there's an emergency, are you going to choose the taking care of the emergency and dropping your insurance, or taking care of the emergency and still having enough to pay your insurance policy or your plan? So let's take a couple minutes. I'll design a budget, and it's just an idea, something so you can see um, pretty much the questions that you should ask. And you need to have it set up where you're not taking all day to write everything with a pencil, using a PDF and trying to print it out and write it down. You got to be quick, you got to be professional, and you need to be able to leave them with something that they can take away. All right, so let me take a second to share my screen. And here we go. And what I'll show you is I have a client, I have the information hidden. So here's the budgeting with Legacy Smart Group. This is something that the agents within Legacy Smart Group are using to do a budget with their clients. So looking at this, we had a client that sat down. You need to ask these questions. Okay, how much, Mr. or Mrs. Client, how much do you bring in? How much do you make annually? I mean, you break it down by the month. How much is your monthly, your bring home? How much is left there after taxes? So a young man spoke and said, "Hey, my what I bring home is $3,100." Now this person needed $945,000 for once we did their dime. And looking at it, whole life policy, or IUL, or term, whatever your financial strategy is, we have to figure out what the budget is before we can even figure out what the strategy is going to be, right? Don't just jump into it and say, hey, boom, let's knock it out. Because you might cheat yourself. You either want to go too low or go too high, but you want to be just right. So looking at that, this person, for example, is 3,100. So looking at that, the take home, we haven't put anything in. So the take home is 3,100. So let's start breaking it down. So I asked the person, hey, how much is your rent? This person, for hypothetically, lives in Illinois, right? In an apartment. So I said, do you rent? Do you rent or do you have a mortgage? Oh, I rent, Cedric. Oh, awesome. How much is your rent? My rent is $900. Oh, man, that's pretty cool. Now, when you're doing this budget, you don't want to go through, you want to kind of make it conversational, right? Not transactional. You know, this comes to interaction. Like, what's your rent? What's this? What's this? So, as you're having a conversation, okay, man, I wish my rent was that good. I wish I didn't pay so much. You got a nice that I like that. How much do you have cable or internet? Yeah. I bet you love that Fire Stick. So how much is that? I just paid $60 a month. Okay, man. So now, do you pay electric? Everybody doesn't have. It may be included in their rent, so you have to ask those questions. Oh, my electric bill is just about $130. Okay, sounds just about right. Do you now? What about water and trash? How much is that? Well, that's included in my rent. Okay, awesome. Now, a cell phone. What type of cell phone do you have? Oh, I got a Sprint. How much did that run? Well, it runs me about $135. And do you just pay for yourself, or you got everybody on a plan? Oh, I got a plan, and I got one of my three kids on it and me. How much is that all together? About 135. Okay. Now we got part of what's coming into the housing. This is what you need so far. Now, I got to the point I said, oh, hold on. Do you have like renter's insurance or any taxes that's paid on your for rent and things? So I got renter's insurance. It's just about $18. Oh wow, okay. Most people don't have renter's insurance. I'm really proud of you for having that's great that you had that. I remember I had an incident. I lived in Wisconsin and I had a flood and I didn't have it, you know. So I'm still having a conversation with the person as I'm going through this. Now you see the number. We started off with 3,100, but now you see now this is what we have remaining $1,857, and we have to get to it. Now, so how much do you spend on groceries? You've already identified at this point whether the person's married, single, kids, and then, oh, I don't spend anything on groceries, you know. So person A hypothetically has two maybe single for this conversation that they're single and they have a child. How much do you spend between? Oh, I spend just about 300 on groceries. Okay, 300 on groceries. Now we're gonna. This is groceries, but guess what? We're gonna talk about dining out later. So personal care. If when you go get groceries, you may go pick up some things for hygiene and things to take care of yourself. Oh, I spend just about $75. Okay, gotcha. Now, is there anyone for childcare? Do you have any type of support or do you pay for daycare or anything like that? No, my child is in their teens, which you already know because you did the dime and you asked about all of these things. So there's no childcare. What about the gym? Do you got any gym fees and things like that? You go, like Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness, and things like that. Oh, my membership is just about $20. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now, is there any type of support coming in, Mr. Client? No, I don't have anything coming in. So right now we see is 375. Now, this person's expenses is outweighing the take home at this point. So you gotta take a look at that. So, Mr. Client, now looking at it, do you have let's talk about any loans and anything like that? Do you have any like credit cards and things like that? And we're gonna talk about transportation. Oh my, I got a credit card. How much do you have on, at the when you did the dime, you already asked about their outstanding debts already. So don't let this one fly past without asking about those other loans or anything that may be in this category, because now you're breaking it down and you're just asking them what are they putting towards that. So this person says, you know what? I put about just $100 towards that, and I try to, pay it down. Okay, they may owe like maybe $3,000, and I'll just, sometimes there might be some things where you can probably look and see if you can knock that interest down, especially if they're in the military. They have something called an SCRA, in which they can knock it down to just about 6% or lower. All right, but they have to be on some type of orders or something like that. You can reach out to me. I can talk to you more about the military side of the house. Now, Mr. Client, you have a vehicle? Of course I think I sent a picture of you with your nice car. Oh yeah, I got. How old is your car? It's 2022. Okay. Well, it's 2023 now, so you probably got a couple years to pay on that one. How much do you pay a month? Okay, I paid just about 400. Okay, 400. Now, is that the only car that you have, Mr. Client? No, I have I got two, but one is used. I kind of I leased that one. Okay. And all right. So how much is that? About $100. So this person's paying $100 for car payments, for which nobody's really paying $100. So I just threw it in that hypothetical, right? So that means if you're talking about a car, they got to have auto insurance. If they don't have auto insurance, and then they got a car, you gotta everything's gotta be legit. You're talking about insurance, right? So this person pays about $91 for auto insurance, hypothetically. Now, looking at this, look, the number's dropping, right? So, couple things you got. Okay, do you have health insurance? Oh, I got it through my job. Okay. Now, do you just understand that if you ever need, this is your time as you're doing this, you're having a conversation where there's a possibility that you can cross sell at the same time, because now you're getting into the weeds. Okay. So, well, I got health insurance, but it's through my job. It's already included. I don't need. Now, if you ever want to talk to them about hospital indemnity, that's an option if you have a health license. Health takes care of the bill, but things about when you get home. I want to stay on topic and focus on the budget. Life insurance, guess what? That's what we're getting out there right now. They don't have that. So that's what we're trying to figure out what we can do. Medical, they don't have anything because that's including any additional medical things that they may have to pay on. And then what about dental? Yeah, I pay for dental insurance. They take about I have something for my child, and I paid just about $20 for that. Okay, got it. Now, discretionary. This is really where you got to dig deep and start asking questions. All right, so Mr. Klein, I see you spent $300 on grocery, but how much you eating? You like to eat out? Don't ask how much. Oh yeah, get into a conversation and make a connection. Man, I spend a bunch of money on eating out. Where do you go? Where you eat at, Mr. Client? Oh, McDonald's it is. How much you say on estimate that you spend? Because nobody's going to know. They don't really track things like that. They can log into the bank account. I spent about 200. Um, I spent about 300 on eating out because I don't like to cook. Okay, $300 on E-Now. Oh, okay. What about any recreation? Do you like to go to the movies? Do you like to go bowling? Is something you want to take your child out? Oh yeah, we like to go to the skate rink. How much you spend on that? You know, we go about two, 3 times, and we go bowling. We spend about $30. Okay, $30. Okay, and then you anything else? Okay, well go ahead and make it 40 because you like to do some of these things. All right. Now, Mr. Client, do you go and buy things online? You got like Amazon and things like that. Yeah, I got a Amazon. Um, oh, so you got the Amazon priority shipping. What about like Netflix and all that stuff? You gotta think about them things. That was a part of that internet, right? You got Tubi, you got the you know, what's the other one? You might have a different type of service. What do you have? Online services are you paying for, right? So, oh yeah, online services I pay. I do. I got about like $40, you know. So let's say maybe some things that they do for shipping, and I like to purchase things online, right? So there may be a other, and based on conversation and getting to know that person, you'll figure out, is there anything else that we missed? Or maybe what about this based on who you are? Now, does Mr. Client, I never asked you, do you smoke? What do you consider smoking? Right? Well, you smoke cigarettes, or maybe you may smoke marijuana, things like that. That's a question of most people. How much? Yeah, I smoke marijuana. Okay, how much do you spend on it? You know, how much do you invest into that? I spend maybe about 100, whether it's whatever type of nicotine or whatever it is, about $100. And guess what? Now we're at the end. Guess what? Let me see. Make sure that this worked out. Now this person has $271 left at the end of the month. Now you got to make a decision. 200, you're not going to take the whole, that's not $271 looking right here that they have to spend on insurance. They have to have something for emergency. And I say, hey, how much you spend on clothes? You know, what's the last time you bought some shoes? Oh man, I got some last week from Foot Locker. What type of shoes did you get? Oh, I got some Jordans. Oh man, Jordan's running about just about $200 for LeBrons or Pumas. The shoes on average cost $150 unless you're going to one of those nice stores, Ross or something like that. How often do you go? Oh, sporadically. That can knock it down. So maybe you want this person might not be your candidate for IUL. They may be a candidate because you're trying to get them close to the number for the dime. So guess what? What type of product are we looking at? Right. So I'll stop right there. I don't want to get into the product, but I'll leave that to you. And if you're working with Legacy Smart Group, we'll start teaching about financial strategies. But looking at that with $271 left for the entire month for that person to survive on after they've taken care of all of their priorities, what type of product would you put them in? I'll tell you some of the products that working with Legacy Smart Group that you'll have access to. Term, GULs, IULs, term and permanent products, premium financing. You have over 30 plus carriers. Will make you subject matter experts in just about 3 to 4 of those carriers, and then we'll grow and expand until teach you all these different things that you need to know. Right. So this shirt, I'm wearing this on purpose, is to show you that we look at insurance and what we do on financial solutions through 3 different lenses: health, life, and wealth, and partnership too at the same time. So that's my time. My name is Cedric Harding. You can use our text feature 224-407-4888 or email Legacy Smart Group at legacysmartgroup@gmail.com. I would love to work with you. I would love to please subscribe to this channel. And I love to share more information with you just to teach you how to get after it and get after these the thousands, millions of people that need our help today, as we want to be the bridge to the client getting to the right carrier. Thank you for your time. That's all I have. Talk to you soon.